Pokémon Go hasn't even been out a week yet, but in 5 days it's actually made quite a stir, online, in real life and in stock markets. The impact of this simple, light-hearted app is hard to ignore, and I think a seismic shift is coming. It's worth exploring just a few of the social and economic effects that Pokémon Go is having on the world, and the more effects that could follow. The best place to start is the most obvious one: physical health. Pokémon Go is forcing a lot of people to exercise a lot more than they ever have done before. To catch Pokémon, you have to move, and to move, you have to burn calories. There are hundreds of people who are saying Pokémon Go is helping them reach their health goals, and there are dozens of studies that say gamifying exercise leads to better weight loss and improved overall health. It's a model that games like Zombies Run and Fit RPG have tried before, but it never really had the draw of Pokémon Go. To hatch eggs in Pokémon Go, you have to travel 2, 5 or 10 kilometers with the app open. In the last week, Google searches converting kilometers to meters have tripled because people are planning their routes around it. The kind of people that Pokémon Go reaches, the video game fans who spend their workdays in front of the computer and then their evenings in front of screens, are exactly the kind of people who will have the most to gain from exercising more. In more than one way. When you exercise, your brain releases a chemical called serotonin, a chemical that's vital for mental well-being. It reduces stress levels, anxiety, and it's why so many professionals put exercise at the top of the list to combat depression. A lot of people use video games as a coping mechanism, which can ease a down period, but it doesn't often dig you out of it. Pokémon Go reaches the isolated millennials who are struggling with the weight of adulthood, and it forces them to make a dramatic change in their daily behaviour. And if you go down the list of most recommended advice to improve mental well-being, Pokémon Go encourages all of it. Get more sunlight and spend some time outdoors. Check. Set yourself achievable goals. Check. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Check. Talk to people. Check. Because of the presence of gyms and lures, a few real geographic locations in every city are very popular for a great number of people. This has caused mass meetings of literally hundreds of people who have two things in common. One, they love Pokemon, and two, they're from the same area. This is creating a sense of community that a lot of places have lacked in the past few years, particularly cities and places where I live, like London. Now, you could also call this sense of community social capital, which is a network of relationships based on trust, cooperation, and commonalities, which all works together to serve a public good. Over the last 10 years or so, devices like smartphones and tablets have allowed us to connect without really meeting each other. But now, this app is actually forcing us to meet in real life, regardless of age, race, gender, economic background, or odour. It's really hard to meet people nowadays, especially if you're a bit socially anxious. But catching Pokemon makes it simple. And I actually think Pokémon Go is a better dating app than Tinder. It's been proven that the best relationships come from repeated compulsory activity, like a workplace or school or evening classes. If you're hitting up the same spots in the evenings, there's a chance that some spark could be flying with the Pokeballs. And mark my words, in a year or so, some trashy outlet will be reporting on the first Pokémon Go themed wedding, with a lucky bride and groom saying, "We met trying to catch an Abra, and boy, did she put a spell on me," or something equally revolting. When the demand for bread starts to rise, the demand for butter rises too. When coffee sales rise, creamer and sweetener start selling more. This is the principle of complementing goods, where if demand rises for one thing, it also rises with another, and entire industry sectors have sprung up from this idea. For instance, iPhone case makers, who only exist because of the strength of another product. So bread and butter goes together like Pokémon Go and what? The answer right now is power banks. Pokémon Go is notorious for draining a user's battery, meaning you can only play for a few hours at a time. People are rushing out to buy these portable batteries that double, triple, or quadruple their battery life. In electronics stores, retailers are making Pokémon Go stations, pushing these batteries, snacks, and all-important hydration products. Whenever there's a great deal of activity or interest in one specific area, the businesses and economies in the area will get a little boost. For instance, the Olympics in Stratford in 2012 sent rents through the roof. A swarm of Pokémon Go trainers might be unwelcome at a police station or an old church turned residential dwelling. But if you've got a gym right outside a restaurant or a juice bar, those restaurants are going to see a greatly increased trade. With the growth of pop-up vendors and street food, it's only a matter of time before the cause and effect is reversed. People will be setting up shops in the vicinity of Pokemon gyms, making a real-life shanty lavender town. Enterprising individuals will realise the power of this, and they're now offering incentives to drop lures close to their business. So a black economy is opening up, swapping real-life objects for in-game actions. Can you even imagine what sort of shady deals will go down once we're allowed to trade Pokémon with each other? Nintendo's stock price currently sits at around 23,000 yen per share, a little under $200. It's jumped well over 10% in the last few days. The headline figure, which you've all definitely seen, is that 7.5 billion has been added to Nintendo's market value. Now, market value is just a figure to tell us what all the Nintendo shares are worth. It doesn't mean that Nintendo have suddenly an extra few billion to spend on proper battle mechanics. Still, it's a good indicator of confidence in Nintendo, which has been falling with the Wii U not being a runaway success like the Wii was. People think Nintendo's on the up, or at least they did yesterday. There are a lot of naysayers and analysts who are saying that Pokémon Go just happens to be the new viral trend of the week. Miitomo, Nintendo's first social app, was fun for a weekend, but is now played by no one that I know. Commentators are saying this success is more words than friends than Uber. Maybe, but most apps and internet startups are all about making us click things, trying to sell us adverts and making us buy things or read things online. It's internet technology for an internet way of life, and it's very well trodden. Pokémon Go actually makes people go places and get up from their computer, or at least take it with them. That's the kind of behaviour that Foursquare and Groupon have encouraged before, but it hasn't really taken off in the way that Pokémon Go has this weekend. Now, making that work, I think, is a huge shift, because this isn't a meme that we're just following exclusively on Twitter. It's something that's putting us in touch with our community, with our environment, and with our planet. And if people can give the Chewbacca mother over a week of attention, they will definitely be giving Pokémon Go at least a few months of it.